Well, hey there!
Hi.
So, this is series 2 of our Mod Squad series because it is Wednesday, and today is going to be Mimosa Wednesday. So, cheers! Cheers! You know, because we can't do exercise or talk about exercise and yoga without a little booze. It's always good. So, today's topic, we are going to talk about working out the crazy that is everyday life with exercise and yoga, because I always find myself in a position where my kids come home, and I love my children dearly. I do, and I know you love your boys too.
I do love them very, very much.
They really, really are very sweet kids.
They truly are.
The minute that they walk through the door, at least in my house, it's, Mommy, she's touching my littlest pet shop. Mommy, she's touching my dollhouse. Sissy, sissy. And it's fights. It drives me crazy. And there is just nothing worse than having like those bickering fights that go on and whatnot. Or if it's just like a crazy busy schedule, like we've got dance, you have your soccer, and you're having to run one place after another. You know that feeling that you get in your head where you feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like a crazy person right now. Like I just feel like so stressed, on edge, irritated, all that kind of stuff. So what can you do to help that? Something natural, something good, even something that you can do within like 5 minutes in between those crazy spells, just to kind of bring you back down to earth and make you feel like you can breathe again, because we all have those moments. So, Sanine, what do you use for your yoga to calm down the crazy?
What do I use to definitely yoga, exercise in general, but
Yes.
definitely yoga. And I spoke a little bit about it last week, but just sometimes taking those moments to yourself just to have quiet time. Doesn't necessarily have to be movement, but just sitting and just meditating, closing your eyes. In meditation, there's not really a science to it. You just close your eyes and just be.
Yes.
That's it.
You know those mommy timeouts that they talk about?
Yeah, that's
Absolutely
it.
important.
And I've taken a lot of those.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of my favorite things to do is legs up a wall,
Uh-huh.
and that's an instant stress reliever. It slows down your breathing. Close your eyes just for a few minutes. You can't do it obviously at your office, but it's something that you can do at home if you don't want to put legs up a wall and your glutes are like flush with the wall.
If you
And
do
legs
it at
up
your
there.
office with your legs up on a wall, please take a picture and send it to us.
That would be awesome.
It would make my
Love
day.
that, yeah.
Absolutely make
Yes.
my day that you're doing that in the
Yes,
office.
you could. You totally
I know.
could. Yeah, but or legs on a couch.
Yes.
Yeah, and just lying down that
Just
way.
kind of lying down.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
I know.
So
I read.
it's pretty awesome.
I went to a conference for. I had a Beachbody conference in Pittsburgh, actually over my birthday, which is August 11th. And one of the speakers there was talking about this book, and it was all about how you you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 before you react to a situation. And it's in those 5 seconds, when you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it actually gives you pause to collect your thoughts, to breathe, to calm down, and refocus. And sure enough, like I've started to kind of use that. So like, you know, when I have my moments, it always tends to be that my mommy timeouts have to happen. Like, mommy's gotta go pee, and then I lock myself in the bathroom and take nice deep breaths in. I do my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, calm down, and it helps. Seriously, it helps. It makes me feel like, all right, I can go back, I can refocus. I'm not gonna yell my head off at the kids, because I don't want to do that. I don't want them to live in a state where I'm like constantly yelling. That's not fun. And it gives me a chance to just really, really clear my head. And it's things like that, just breathing, nice deep breaths in.
Yes.
You know, and those are things that are important to do during your mommy timeout. Make sure you take those mommy timeouts.
Mommy timeout. And actually, exercise helps you with that pause.
Yes.
Because exercise creates more neurons in your brain, which in turn creates more chemicals that are stress reducing chemicals. And so what's interesting about that, if you are just working out for 30 minutes, you're creating more of that chemical release to take down that cortisol, which I thought was really, really fascinating. And all the studies that I've done, that's one of my favorite things about exercise is, yes, obviously the benefits that you get for your health, but for me personally, it's always been the benefits for stress. Just because, not that I have a particularly stressful life, but it's just very, very busy. Constant running. And that can create some stress, making sure that you're at the field on time, making sure that you have everything you need. You moms get it.
Yes.
Totally get it.
Totally.
That can create stress in and of itself, just having a minute to minute to minute schedule.
Yes.
So if you make that half an hour to yourself, create those neurons, create those chemicals that the neurons are transmitting. You can look up the science. I'm not really science. Anyway, it creates more chemicals. So you can take that pause. It's a proven fact.
It is.
Yeah.
I have yet to have anybody that has walked away from one of my classes, from an exercise, or finished a workout. Yes, we always go into the workouts thinking like, I don't want to do this. This sucks. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to have to lift weights. I don't want to run. I don't want to do any of that. But you know what's so amazing about all of that is, sure enough, there is yet to be one person that has walked away from doing 30 minutes of exercise and said, I hated that. I don't ever want to do that again. Or hated how they felt after a workout. Unless you're doing something where it's brutal and your body really feels dead. And even in those moments, you still get that like little high of, gosh, I feel really, really good. It's that endorphin rush. It's that adrenaline. It's just that, oh my gosh, I feel like I can focus. It is such an awesome feeling to walk away from exercise. In my most stressed moments, as much as I don't want to do it, I will go down in the basement. I will press play. I will do something fun. I know I can't dance, but I secretly love Size, which is like Beachbody's hip hop workout. I go downstairs.
Super cool.
Exactly. Go, do some moves, do something that's fun, exciting, that like I love, that kind of makes me smile. And then I come up from the basement and I feel like a whole new person. It's just amazing. So those are always things to go to, to have those moments. If you're stressed at night, I found this to be actually really, really interesting. So I run a wellness center for an IT company, and we don't work out at the beginning of the day, and we don't work out at the end of the day. We work out in the middle, which is phenomenal. And the woman who owns this company is pretty fantastic that she allows her employees to do such a thing. And we found that, of course they get stressed, especially when they get around conference time. Things can, it's hub, it's move. And when we do our workouts, at the end of those workouts, I run them through meditation where we lay in Shavasana. And I have them lay with their palms up, and we start at the toes, and we literally just go through the body movements. So we talk about melting your legs, muscles into the mat, allowing your joints to relax. The minute that you say those kinds of words, it's amazing that like you didn't even realize that you're holding them. Jaws, especially.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like if you just clench your jaw and clench your face for just a second, and then you release it, you'll see how much you've been holding in your jaw, just the stress alone in your jaw, in your neck too. And so that's a really good way to relieve stress too, is clench, and then release. And you're like, oh, that's what that feels like to be relaxed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know. It's one of those things that if you can take 5 minutes and you can just lay down in Shavasana, palms up, allow your legs to open, or your ankles to fall, and go through, find something on like YouTube, find something on, Spotify or something like that, some kind of meditation that's actually going to walk you through, name what you're doing. It will put you into a nap. If I'm having a hard time sleeping, I'll bust out a meditation video. I'll lay there and just let the words sink in, and I always feel so much better. If you can find things that talk more of like inspiration. My big thing is I love talking about, imagine all of the negative things that are going on in your life, and with every single inhale you're going to scoop up those moments, and with every exhale you're going to release that. And then when you're inhaling again, now you have all this new space for all these positive thoughts. None of us are accidents. We weren't accidentally made. None of us were. We are all a gift to this world, and to take 5 minutes to really truly see how amazing each one of us is, it's kind of cool, and you need to allow yourself to do that, because you walk away and you feel like, wow, you know what? I needed that. I needed that little stress reliever.
Agreed.
It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it is good stuff. Love. That's Yoga Nidra.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
yoga
I did not.
nidra, yes, where
My
you
goodness.
are going through like a body scan or a body scan meditation. Look up yoga nidra on YouTube, and it's pretty awesome. They also have podcast. Yeah,
Yes, I love
it's pretty awesome.
podcasts.
I love podcasts too.
I'm all about self-love.
Self-love, yes. And another thing that going kind of off of what you were saying is I love how you're doing that during the middle of the day. Because if they are feeling stressed, that for a moment, it creates it's a distraction away from the stress. So all they're focusing on is that exercise at that time. And so they're not thinking about the stressful things. They may think about it afterward, but you're not thinking about it during.
No.
So that's a pretty awesome thing that you can do during the day. Is just create that distraction so you're not thinking about the next thing to come.
Right.
Yeah, just focusing on you, giving that gift to yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, one of the things that you have to remember is that, yes, of course, you want to do this stuff at the beginning of the day. Yes, it's great to do it at the end of the day, but I think everybody forgets the middle. And the middle is sometimes the most important because the middle tends to be where we're most stressed. It's when all those thoughts all come together. We're so busy. And to just have that moment where we step away and breathe, refocus, and finish out the day, you will find that you may possibly be more productive than you were the following day when you didn't do it.
Definitely. Agreed.
So have that little time out at
Yeah.
like 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Great. You know?
Or even if you don't have the opportunity to have an exercise program at your place of work, doing a little bit of walking meditation, taking time away from your desk. And it doesn't have to be outside. Maybe it's just in the building where you work. Or if you're a mom at home, taking the baby for a walk or whatever.
Yeah.
And just really being quiet and focusing on what's going on around you. So being an observer and doing that walking meditation really helps to create that space that you were talking about, that white space in your head. If you're focusing on everything else that's going on, looking at the flowers swaying in the wind or listening to a bird or a frog or noticing that there's a chainsaw in the background, just whatever it is. I mean, some of it in thinking of it as in a different light. That is happening over there. That is not affecting me, or this is making me feel this way, and really focusing on how it's making you feel or how it's not making you feel. I love doing that when I'm really stressed too. It's just taking time, 10-minute walk, and just doing a walking meditation.
I think that's fantastic.
It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, so I was in Vegas in May. It was, again, for a conference. And in that conference, one of the motivational speakers, his clients are like Google. I'm trying to think of some of the other big ones, but Disney is another one. He has all these big companies that he works for, and that he comes in and talks to them and whatnot. And so one of the things that he had talked to them about was they were finding that production was slower at certain times, and so he decided to experiment and have these people have white space time. And so these people were scheduled in their day, of course they got paid for it, where they would step away from their desk, and for a half hour it was white space. And white space is you're wiping the board clean. You're not thinking of what you have to do later tonight. You're not thinking about what happened this morning. You're not thinking about stressing. You're not thinking about negative thoughts. There's nothing at all. You're allowing your brain to go completely clean, and you start with a clean slate. And you start thinking and creating and allowing your brain to really stretch its muscles and see what it would create. And so they found that when they allowed that white space time, production was better. They found ideas were better. People were less stressed. I mean, it made a difference to be able to allow yourself to have that half hour of time to clean the slate, start fresh, and build from that. I think that's important. I don't think we allow ourselves to have those moments where we're not thinking of something negative. I don't think we allow ourselves to have those moments where we're not stressed or we're worried about, what am I going to have to do for today? What do I have to do tomorrow? What's going to be on my work schedule for this? And we need to have more of those white space moments so that we can really, truly, flex our creative muscles, refocus, and, just kind of take a breath and calm down. we're all much happier people when we have those moments of clarity.
Yes, this is very true.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And however you get that, exercise can be that white space, meditation can be that white space, you know, whatever that white space and how it speaks to you and what that means for you.
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think those are super, super important things to remember. And of course, a mimosa in the morning on Wednesdays is always a great way of cleaning the slate.
Everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation. Don't drink the bottle.
No.
You can have a glass. Just, I mean, no, it's all right. And you know what makes me happy?
Quite yummy.
A strawberry in the glass.
No,
It just
it's
makes
just
it so pretty.
It's just
It does.
pretty. It makes me feel fancy.
It does. I know. I feel fancy. Even though I'm at a house, I feel like we're at some kind of like spa.
I know, like a resort.
So wonderful.
It is. That would create white space.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, so talking about